let's get into David. Welcome back to the Let's Get Into It podcast. Today we have a lot to talk about. We're going to be covering Ariana, Kylie, Taylor. But before we talk about them, I want to talk about David, the singer who's currently under investigation for possibly killing a 14-year-old girl that he was in a full-blown relationship with. Some people are even convinced that she was pregnant with his baby. I am too, because I've seen the Discord messages. But it looks like that expensive lawyer that David has paid off is doing him well, because the case has gone cold. We are getting new details that David took the two homes that he owns in Texas and put them under his mom's name. That is to limit some of the risks and the assets that he has, so when they go and try to seize all of those and to make him pay hefty fines for dismembering a little girl and putting her into his Tesla, his family can still hold on to some of the wealth that his music has made. I wouldn't be surprised if he's shifting all of his money and assets to his mother right now.
This is kind of crazy because it indicates that something big may be happening soon. So what could this actually mean? It seems like his parents and his siblings still live in one of the Houston houses, because if you guys remember a little bit back, the house got swatted. And when the police showed up at the door, the mother answered the door and said that his younger siblings were upstairs. Since he transferred his Houston houses to his mother's name, what do you guys think this means for David's future?
By now, I would have thought that David would be behind bars. I mean, we've gone through so much evidence. This comment reads, sounds to me like he knows what's about to come. Another person writes, David knows he's done. And finally, sounds like we'll be getting some major updates soon. Can someone explain to me why Meek Mill thought it would be a great idea to go and post on social media that he wanted to collaborate with David to promote his next album? Like, Meek, have you become so irrelevant that you now have to associate yourself with David for people to even mention your name? Like, in response to the news that David transferred his homes to his mother, he writes on social media, I need his promo for my album rollout. Who do I call? Well, I guess you call Miss Blair Burke, his attorney of law. This must be the worst PR move, because Meek Mill has recently been working on probation reform and really productive things. So why does he want to associate with David? Let's get into Ariana Grande. Now, I am a huge fan of Ariana Grande, and it seems like her relationship with Ethan Slater is going very well. So I recently received a tip. It was on Sunday, September 28th. This person wrote to me, Hi Sloan, I'd like to submit this tip anonymously, but a lot of people were wondering if Ariana and Ethan are still together. Well, I did see a tweet go viral recently on Twitter saying that they were not together. But this person is a first-hand witness, and they say, after attending the Wicked event at the Dolby Theater this past Wednesday, I can confirm I saw them holding hands and walking side by side sometime after the show. Now, I know a lot of people on like Twitter and X or whatever are convinced that these two are not doing well, but from what I've seen in recent reports, they seem to be okay. I mean, maybe Ariana's bored with him. I wouldn't be surprised. That's her typical behavior, like steal the man, stay with them for a little bit, and then move on. But she's got this big movie to focus on, and I don't think the studio would appreciate a breakup, taking over the headlines. They're trying to get that Oscar. But even though her love life seems to be doing okay, a lot of people are concerned about her actual well-being. And I hate to be like this guy that's like talking about like a woman's body, because I don't believe in doing any of that. I don't think that we need to have opinions about other people's bodies, but there are inside sources who are saying that she is not doing well. And I also think we've talked about mental health so much. We've normalized it in society. We also need to talk about eating issues. Like, I had years where I had like straight up like associated with anxiety. So, being like having an eating disorder, like these are things that do happen. We cannot completely ignore them. Like, we started to acknowledge like mental health. Now let's acknowledge other things too, especially in the era where everyone's like Ozempicing themselves. Everyone's getting real thin, and that does have an impression on perception of things and how people take care of themselves. But right now, Ariana Grande is 32 years old. She stands at 5'2". I don't know how this article is reporting that she's 87 pounds. Like, how do you know? I really don't know unless you're in her bathroom.
Ariana Grande allegedly has a serious ED that needs to be addressed, and the blind item alleges that she can't even hold up her 5-pound award at the Palm Springs International Film Society, even though we all know that she was joking. Everything in this video is alleged, not confirmation of validity of allegations.
An insider said that Ari's dropped a lot of weight in recent months. Her collarbones are sticking out, her wrists are so thin and frail looking, it looks like they're going to snap. Okay, well, chill there. We don't need the descriptors. She has virtually no body fat at all, and women need some for vital functions including hormone production, energy levels, and insulation. The source adds that there's a fear that she's suffering from some type of body dysmorphia, but Ariana herself thinks she looks great. She seems to be under a bizarre delusion that being skinny makes her more beautiful. People around her are worried it's a sensitive topic to bring up, which typically, that weight is a sensitive topic for everyone. No one wants to talk if you're a little bit too big, and definitely if you're too thin. Actually, the first guest we had on the Let's Get Into It podcast has had a public, battle, kind of like maybe like what Ariana's going through right now, and it's difficult to speak to someone about this because there are also like mental health implications. And what do you do when someone says I'm okay? You can't really like challenge that. There was a moment where Ariana was at the Palm Springs Film Festival. She did accept an award from Jennifer Coolidge, and those awards are heavy. She's not the first one to struggle to hold it, but it was very clearly too heavy for her. I love Ariana Grande's music. I love her movies, and I grew up with her. We saw her on Victorious, Sam and Cat, and I'm just worried about her. The same way I was worried about Britney Spears during the Free Britney movement, and I'm still worried today because these people are put in very tough situations with this celebrity and this fame, and now with social media making it even more complicated. I do worry what's going on in Ariana's mind, and I just want her to be okay. I want everyone to be okay. And I don't think people's concern is bullying. I think people truly do care about her and want to see her thrive.
This was Ariana Grande in 2020 or 2021. And as you can see here, her body shape is a lot different than it is in this picture here, taken just a month or two ago, when she is a lot thinner in her frame. She looks like a different person. I do think the people around her need to intervene on some level. She doesn't look healthy, and in the movie, it was hard to watch at times.
Right now, Ariana Grande is keeping a low profile, but in the next week, you'll see her in a bunch of different podcasts because she's about to begin her podcast tour. Last time she did a more traditional media tour. I think this time for the second part of Wicked, we're going to get more podcasts. So I'm interested to hear her. The only headline comes from Elvira. Remember Ariana and her got into a feud last year? Well, Elvira, the queen of Halloween, is bringing it back. Elvira is selling a new cookbook, and she's talking about her interaction with Ariana. Essentially, Elvira was pissed off that Ariana was acting like she was better than thou after bringing a bunch of guests and her family to Elvira's show, and Ariana had left early. It was tricky. Ariana's excuse is that was around the Manchester bombing, the attack that happened at her show. She had a lot of anxiety dealing with that, and she said she just doesn't even really remember the story the way that Elvira remembers it. Ariana said, I actually don't even remember getting the chance to meet you because I had an anxiety attack into my memory left before the rest of my family. This was about 7 years ago, and at the time, I was really not great at being in public crowds or loud places. If I'm misremembering this moment, I apologize. Thank you for being so nice to my mom. She told me how lovely you were. She might have different feelings about that now, but I'll talk to her. Clearly, we all have our days. Ooh, shady. Everything about her apology was great until she said, I don't know if my mom likes you anymore. Elvira said, I told a story that really happened. She did it. I wasn't making it up. It was very offensive. She says, I have all these celebrities who come to my show, and there have been a ton. They're always gracious and kind, and she wasn't. I'm sorry to say that. It's disappointing when you hear things and you learn things like that, but it's sad. Oh well. Elvira said that Ariana came to my show. She brought 20 guests. She said she wanted 21 tickets. We said okay. She gets backstage and she asks if I could take a picture with all of her friends and relatives that she brought. I take a picture with every single one of them. I sign autographs for all of them. Then I say to her, could we take a photo together? And she says, no, I don't really do that. And then she left before my show even started. All of her relatives stayed though. They used the Ariana Grande connection. And you know what? I could see both sides of this. Ariana was probably traumatized from the concert, did not want to be in public like that. And Elvira probably felt a little bit snubbed. I give you 21 tickets. You don't even come to my show and you are better than me to take a photo? Please. Next. Thank you for watching this clip from the Let's Get Into It podcast. To view the full episode, visit the link listed below.